on Spreaker and Spotify. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Karibuni to yet another beautiful conversation where we shall be talking about something we mentioned yesterday, and of course, I promised to take a look at it, and that is what basically we shall be looking at. A look at John Mahama, that is the current elected leader or the current elected president in Ghana, and he was actually once, or rather, has served as a president in Ghana before, and that is he began his presidency in July 2012 and ended in January 2017. So we shall take a look at that period of time. What specifically did he do? Because they say he became the fourth president of Ghana, the fourth republic after he succeeded John Atta Mills, who died in office in 24th of July in 2012. And prior to that, he served as a vice president of Ghana from January 2009 to 2012. So it's someone who has been literally in politics or engaged in Ghana's economy development of everything, the people, the infrastructures, job opportunities, and so much. He's someone who's so much deeply rooted. So we shall be checking on to his history, because I was trying to look at YouTube if we can pull up any videos where we can be able to discuss a little bit of his corruption, what evidence people, maybe what they had to say about his leadership. But of course, they have cleared everything, because every video we see right now is so new after he has been elected. And of course, we shall be checking about his corruption, because he has some few scandals. We've been checking on some scandal that actually did erupt or come up. That was in 2023 in August, where there was an announcement of him denouncing about false publication of his wealth. We shall also discuss where also more details are revealing, or another article which discusses about where he does not actually have a net worth of 900 million. So I checked on it, on his net worth, and Google could not bring me a correct figure. So the article that led me to know and understand his net worth is that he was trying to deny this. So we shall be checking on that. How did he get that? Because I said I have a problem with these leaders being re-elected again. I don't understand why Africa we're normalizing this. When someone has served as a president, why are they given the chance to actually come back again? If you're talking about like someone like Trump, we can see he's trying to make a change. As much as we understand left, right, no difference. But still, as Africa, as a people, we should learn better. We should be able to just learn how to audit. And this takes us back again to the system of education. We shall also check about where he has been able to splash, where he was splashed by an Airbus corruption affair. And when he came, so actually immediately when he was elected, there is some news of him that came up immediately that he was cleared about this Airbus corruption. So there's so much details. Karibuni sana. That is our top conversation for the day. But we shall also check a little bit onto, that is Steve Harvey. That is the US comedian, they call him. He has actually partnered with Rwanda to boost tourism. We shall be checking on that and how Africa or Rwanda shall be benefiting towards this and on forward. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby. And before I get back to one more jam, I'd love to remind you to kindly check out our amazing organic supplements, which you can find at a very affordable price. Remember, you have been told if you're seeking to get yourself maybe a t-shirt, a hoodie, a hat, a mug, anything you'd love, maybe some shorts, some wine glass, all printed with our logo or yours, we have an amazing deal for you. You can click any of the product right here, and once you go actually add it to the cart, you're given the option of either paying lipa pole pole, like we say jana, it's called lipa pole pole. So you get to choose your color. Let's say me, I want navy blue, and then I add it to the cart. Let's see how this works. Navy blue, what's the size? Did it ask me about the size? I'm not sure if it did ask me about the size. So I added it to the cart, and then after adding it to the cart, you go all the way. You go all the way here where you're given. You can see the two, the Afam and the Lipa Pole Pole. So if you want to maybe purchase the product, if it's a hat, if it's a mug, once and for all, you can Afam. If you want to Lipa Pole Pole, you have the green to go button there, and you'll be able to, it will be deducted on your credit card or whatever you're using till you're able to pay fully. But also remember, we have amazing supplements for you guys. So ensure you check out these amazing supplements as well. And we say your health is your wealth. You need it, we have it. Come get it. Once you make your first second purchase, you'll be getting a discount. I'll be coming back to let you know more after this short musical break. This is Burna Boy featuring Harmonize, one of my favorites. And of course, tonight, I shall be on the desk. I'm not gonna go all the way to TBT, but I'll be taking you maybe this Tanzania, Nigeria. We shall see how the playlist shall actually flow. Bakaribuni sana.
Sit down, they sing this song. La 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 la. Come they make me feel like a that's if you want to my radio. Wanna nigga. When the boy to kill us, that's if you want to wanna nigga. When the boy to kill us, wanna nigga.
Adekaburu kwa Mandela, rudi kwa bibi Kinondoni, Amalulu kujadela, mwanangu gigi simuon, aje ainama. I know God, let me shut down. I know God, hey, go down, you shall live for funzo. I know God, go down, baby. I know God, give it to them, baby. I know God, hey, go down, rusa kutunza. Hey, so sura so shepu, kinikimona tabani. If you see nura sepe.
Yes, and of course, Kariburi Sana. Catch me tonight on the Culture Show. I shall be myself over there, of course, on the DJ desk as we get much more deeper into some amazing music and some amazing conversation. But we are back, and of course, reminding you your health is your wealth. Check out these amazing supplements that you can find on the BHFN Sports page. And remember, once again, if you make your first second purchase, you'll be getting a discount with us. We're talking about sports and nutrition, vitamins and minerals, proteins and blends, amino acids, beauty supplements, food and beverages, also some amazing natural extracts. And of course, remember, you can also ask before you make your purchase. We have an active chat, we have an active email. And of course, once again, Karibuni Sana. As we get started, like I said, we shall be talking about John Mahama. Yeah, today we shall be talking about John Mahama, who was once a president in Ghana. And we want to check his actually leadership, back then. What did he do? Because, like I said yesterday, personally, I have a big problem with African leaders who have served before, never left any development, any actually progress for the country, being actually put back into power again. That is a big problem. And that should actually alarm us and let us know that they are only picking people who can continue with the system of corruption, because they don't want to allow young people to become competitive. They don't want to allow young mindsets to come in and bring ideas of what majority of the young people are going through, what change they need and all that. So we put in a certain, actually, I'd say, box, or I don't know how to describe it, but we need to start questioning these kind of things. And this is why we say again, we need to audit. And I feel like personally, slowly with everything, I'm learning how to even audit these people, because I just started by number one checking, of course, is net worth. There's no way you can tell me, you as a president, of course, when you come back for elections, of course, you need money for campaign. So let's check where you're getting all these funds for campaign. As much as you've been benefiting from all your retirement benefits, still, I want to check your net worth. How many assets do you have? How did you get this? And how did Ghanaians feel when you were a president? Because that is the expression I was trying to get from YouTube, but I couldn't see any videos. All that should be checked. But if you see and check on his history, he has a lot of scandals, actually. A lot of scandals. But I want to start with Steve Harvey before we get into that very quickly. Yeah, so we can see actually there's some information that has come on the desk today, or rather surfacing online, that Steve Harvey has partnered with Rwanda to boost tourism. And I remember when we had Ruto over there, Kenyans are making fun of this, because Ruto, when he was there, he met Steve Harvey, if I'm not wrong. Met a couple of comedians, and he also said that they're looking forward to come and invest in Kenya. So Kenyans right now questioning, like, We're into the first ones and all that. It's just coming in a comical way. But they're saying that the Rwanda government and the US comedian Steve Harvey company built LLC signed an agreement to boost tourism and investment in Rwanda. The deal, signed by Rwanda Development Board CEO Francis Gafere and Steve Avery in Kigali, focuses on skills development in film, media, education, promoting health and wellness campaigns, and establishing an academic institution under MELT Education, Harvey's education company. Harvey described Rwanda as an unique country that should serve as an example to others, considering its remarkable progress by the past 30 years. Well, Steve Harvey doesn't understand, because I think if it's him or one of the people, actually they made a joke about the continent some time back. You don't understand where this guy is getting the money from. You don't understand. It was actually about Congo. You know, you don't understand where the money is coming from. I feel like for me, it's something, or this president should start being alarmed, because I don't believe these Black Americans, majority of them, really have good intentions when it comes to Africa. I believe they're just front men being used to, I don't know how to describe it, but shout out to Rwanda. We wish them the best. We're gonna see, because we have so far now Idris Elba, we have Steve Harvey, we have Akon. I mean, look at all these people, influencers, all focusing on Africa. But let's see how it's gonna go. So far, it has been signed. They're saying that it has been signed. So we're gonna see if it's gonna be actualized. That is the point that we should actually focus majority on. That is what basically, personally, I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna add much on that, but you can let me know what you feel about this, because I don't know I don't see, apart from Kid and majority, or some people are trying to, of course, boost the lives of Africans and make Africa also a home for them. I don't believe majority of these people actually even see Africa as home, like Steve Harvey. Let's just start from there. But yes, as we get started with John Mahama, who's our focus for today, we want to check on his history. And like I said, the first thing I checked is when he became president. If you look at John Mahama, again, I'm going to read: the presidency of John Mahama began on 24th of July in 2012 and ended on 7th January 2017. John became the fourth president of the Ghanaian Fourth Republic after he succeeded John Atal Mills, who died in office on 24th of July. So I want to see who's John Atal Mills as well, because most of the time when these things happen, it's always some nepotism going on. So I want us to look onto the details before we get to move on. Who's John Atal Mills? John Evans Fifth Atal Mills was a Ghanaian political and legal scholar who served as a president of Ghana from 2009 until his death in 2012. He was inaugurated as on January 7, 2009. Okay. His children are Sam Kofi Atta. Okay. So this is nothing to do with nepotism. That is clear. So yeah, he succeeded, that is John Atal Mills, who died in office on 24th of July in 2012. And that is when John Mahama actually became president. So if you look at actually his net worth, that was also something else I had to check. His net worth is not actually clearly indicated, but we have scandals of where he has tried to defend himself when it comes to his net worth. So let me find the article very quickly. Let me share my screen. Okay, so it is. So John Mahama, this is an article released on I'm always heavy on dates. I don't love sharing articles without letting people know when the date of the information was released. This, I think, was in 2022. I remember when I was pulling this up. So he came out and defended himself. It says that John Mahama does not have any net worth, have a net worth of 900 million US dollars. That is his office that denounced the report. And I'm certain if we go, let's see. Let me just do this very quickly. Let me do this very quickly. Just give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, this is in 2023 on August 30th, where he came out and actually spoke about his net worth. And he says, I don't have a 900 million in my account. The former president John Mahama has denounced reports claiming he has 900 million US dollars in his bank account. In a statement released by his spokesperson, Mahama labeled the reports as false and baseless, calling them an attempt to discredit his reputation and undermine his leadership. The said reports put Mahama as the fourth richest person in Ghana with over 900 million US dollars in his personal account. The political said the claims were another attempt to accuse disaffection and a part of a wider political smear campaign ahead of the 2024 election. Of course, and I expected that because I saw this is in 2023 where he came to actually defend himself. We're in 2024, so clearly he knew he's gonna actually vie for this presidential seat. He clearly knew. So he came out to try clear his details before the election. He also they add that Mahama urged the public to focus on recruiting the current government's performance and hold them accountable for the economic mismanagement. Below is full statement issued by his spokesperson, Joyce Bawai. And it says, Mahama denounces false publication of his wealth, and the office of John Damari Mahama has been made aware of false publication claiming that the former president is the fourth richest person in Ghana and worth around 900 million. So I'm going to do a very quick, I'm so glad, shout out to Keith for teaching me this to understand, follow the money. Let us look at what are the things he owns in Ghana? What are the companies? John Mahama. Excuse me. Okay, so what are the companies John Mahama owns in Ghana? It's not really giving me. It's not really giving me clear details, but let's see. Okay, so here we have an article. I love this. So we have an article. We have an article from 2014. Good afternoon to you too, John Mosquito, Karibu Sana. So we have an article from 2014. I love this. So we're here, Karibu Sana, to those who are just joining. We're discussing about, we're taking a see what's happening on my camera. What's going on? Okay, yeah, so we're taking a look at John Mahama, that is the current elected president in Ghana, who once served as a president from 2012 to 2017. And if you try look at actually YouTube right now, there's no details, videos about his leadership back then. There's no complaints from the people or any videos of how his leadership actually took place. And like most of the presidents, we get to see videos. Everything has been cleared, and we have just the current news about his elections winning. So I went deeper, and we're now checking the statements. Number one, of course, after checking is a presidential, when he served as a president, checking on his net worth, which you can see he came out. His net worth is not actually clearly indicated on Google, but he came out, that was last year, late last year in August, to actually defend his bank account, which the statement I just read, he has 900 million US dollars in his bank account, and is one among the top 10 richest people, actually the fourth richest person in Ghana today. This is John Mahama. If you look at actually his legacy, if you try ask about corruption on YouTube, you won't see none. But if you go deeper on Google, you get to see some. So I'm just from checking. I wanted us to check on the properties he owns in Ghana, since he says he's not involved in corruption. The people should actually focus on recruiting this other government, that is Nana Akufo-Addo, who was of course has just been ousted. But we're checking on how did he get to $900 million. So I'm asking Google what are the properties he owns. So let me look at this very quickly. Where is the article I just pulled? There is an article I just pulled. Okay, so here we have. So this is in 2014, where he had a scandal. Remember, he was appointed as president in 2012. In 2014, he had a scandal where we see the president, John Mahama, did invest outside Ghana. They're saying that this is a question asked to him: why, how, and from what money did the president of Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Haman, used to do the black and blind investment outside his own country? That is the question. In the center, the Zion train of prosperity is standing on the house of the door of Ghana President John Mahama, and will be stopping only at the doors of some Ghanaian top men and government ministries. The rate at which most members of the Ghanaian government, especially government ministers, are swimming in properties through dubious and selfish means at the expense of the entire country is abnormal and aching. The defiance has now engulfed no other person than the President of the Republic, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. Somewhere in 2011, it was reported that Mr. Algari Idrus, that is the editor of Algari newspaper, and currently one of the Ghana's honest, credible journalists, on a Semper radio station in Accra, that there was a seemingly cold war and hostility between the then president John Atalis, who of course who died in office then Mahama took over, and the Vice President John Mahama's office. The NDC reporter Algari, in a report, in an effort, let me read this again. The NDC reporter Algari Bature, in an effort not to soil the image of the government in public, declined to comment further about the tension that prevailed at the peculiar time between the late Miles and Mahama. However, further investigations by the New World revealed that the Vice President Mahama deliberately kept himself out of the power struggles in his party, but was quietly, shamelessly using his office as the second gentleman of the land to build up a huge property portfolio in Middle East, Europe, and Far East. According to the New World, John Mahama, through a passport of Al-Khari's holding company in Doha, Qatar, bought a $4 million stake in a hotel, the Grand Heritage Hotel, and a spa in Qatar, in a manner that raised eyebrows, as his money was transferred from offshore account in his name, registered as Giltar. Now the question is, where did then President get the gargantuan amount of money, and why has then vice president hiding money from Ghanaian public besides investing in foreign company. This is clearly not far from the conflict of interest. Again, where did the vice president of Ghana, Mahama, come by such a huge amount of money after only 2.5 years in office? Exactly. So you can't say that this guy is not corrupt. And that's why I'm saying I have a huge problem every single time again. This is called auditing. And this is why I'm saying I need to be hired for this job. This is called auditing. You need to check this president again before. We need to check these presidents again before they are re-elected into power. If you served as a president and you failed once, why are you getting another chance? You have scandals of corruption from actually the first 2 years you got into office, and even probably before. Because you can hear when he was a vice president and the then president, who is John Attal, they were even brutalizing and torturing journalists because of maybe trying to expose any sort of information about corruption regarding them. So this is crazy. But I'm going to leave it at that. That is an article of 2014. Let me shut that down. The next article we see, actually immediately when he came into office, I want to share this short video very quickly. This is just a few days ago, 4 months ago actually, where the president, John Mahama, cleared in an Airbus corruption scandal. This in Airbus corruption scandal happened in, let me read you the article. This was in 2020, where John Mahama was splashed by an Airbus corruption affair. And the article says one could hardly have imagined a more likely settling for a revelation of this nature. The scene takes place in November 2010. Philip Middlemiss, a former star of the successful British series Coronation Street, goes with his girlfriend. Okay. What is that? All right. What's that? The heck am I reading? Okay. Okay, let's see. 10 years later, the results, Oh, okay. So let's read it. Okay, so it's what it's leading to the whole article. Oh, for a minute, like what's this? So yeah, in the scenes take place in November 2010, where we have Philip Middlemiss, a former star of the successful British series Coronation Street, goes with his girlfriend, actress Lynn Davies, to a charity gala at a cricket club in the northwest of England. In keeping with the theme of the evening, psychedelics of the 60s, the actor is dressed in a three-piece plaid suit and Chelsea boots. When a local newspaper asks him what his plans are, Middlemiss answers is unexpected to say the least. I'm working out in Ghana, in West Africa. My best friend's brother, the vice president. So I went out there thinking of directing a feature film, and now I'm working with the government. And this one I'm going back. I'm going back to the same bullshit with Idris Elba, Steve Avril's now in Rwanda. They always come in with a motive of directing a film. But anyway, so he says, I'm working in Ghana, in West, my best friend's brother, the vice president. So I went out there thinking of directing a feature film, and now I'm working with the government. The journalist, obviously taken back, asked him if this was a joke. He said, no, that was truth. That was the truth. Then 10 years later, the results of a joint investigation by French, British, and US authorities into alleged corruption at the European aircraft manufacturer Airbus in 23 countries, including Ghana, shed new light of the exchange, and they have planned John Dramani Mahama as the former the former president who was planning to make a political comeback this year in turmoil. Between 2009 and 2012, John Dramani Mahama was the vice president of Ghana, and after President John Atta Mills died in 2012, Mahama took over the presidency and the leadership of the National Democratic Congress, then won the national election in December that year. But 4 years later, Mahama lost the presidential election to a veteran counter, that is Nana Akufo-Addo, over millions of votes. So there was a scandal. There has been many scandals. It's been involved in many, many, many scandals. But today we see this video. So let me share this video very quickly. We don't need film movies in Africa. John was he said. We have Steve Avery who is in Rwanda right now. We have Idris Elba, who said is a British actor. We have Akon. We know, I mean, and they're never doing shit.
And former Ghanaian President John Mahama has been cleared of any corruption allegations by the special prosecutor. His brother had been accused of accepting bribes on behalf of the head of state from aerospace giant Airbus, allegations that arose amidst confessions from Airbus officials appearing in US and UK courts. Justice Baidu talks us through.
Ghana's special prosecutor launched an inquiry into these investigations in 2020 after it came out of UK, US, and French investigations into the issue of European aircraft maker Airbus paying bribes of up to 5 million euros to a network of persons that were accused of brokering these deals on behalf of the Ghanaian government. It was part of the scandal that broke in 23 African countries, including Ghana.
While the accepted facts in the two foreign jurisdictions are that the employees of Airbus designed the payments to the intermediaries as bribes intended to court favor with Ghanaian public officials, especially ex-President John Dramani Mahama. On the other hand, the intermediaries appeared to expect and receive the payments as their legitimate expectation under an arrangement of success-based commissions for the sale of the military transport aircraft to the government of Ghana.
Mr. Mahama will be coming up against the current Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in a very close elections that several polls have suggested Mr. Mahama has a high chance of winning.
Yeah, because they knew he's gonna win, of course. They always like the corrupt ones. And this is why these people are given opportunities back again so that they can continue the same scandals. Like, you already have scandals, but you're still being given chances. I don't get it. This is just, I always say, our leadership is full of jokes, whether we like it or not. Especially Africa. Like, we're full of jokes. Like, this continent is full of just jokes. We need an Ibrahim Traore. We need a non-smiling person. When he's smiling is because there's success moving in his country, because he's dealing with the enemies. He's moving things independently, not because he has a white man's hands to shake or bootlick any type of thing. No. This is crazy. You had a scandal, but you've been cleared about the scandal. And why am I surprised? I mean, look at Kenya. Look at our previous president. These two are involved in the 2007 elections, the killings of innocent people. But they still served as presidents. I mean, this is just for us to understand how this system has been set up. It's full of just evil, and evil is what rules the world. Evil is just what rules the world. If you're not evil, you don't fit in this class of the people with money. You don't really fit there. But shout out to John Mosquito once again. Let me go through the comments before I get into the next one, because this is just getting interesting more and more. This is just getting interesting more and more. The next article I'm going to be reading is of 2016, where he was also still again involved in other 8 scandals that actually should make us understand why he's in power again. 8 good scandals. Those are just like 2, 3 I've mentioned so far. But John Mosquito says, I think it's the second time he's been elected as president. Yes, he was a vice president from 2009 to 2012. In 2012, we took over after we had John Atta Mills. That was the president who was a president by then, who died in office, and then he took over immediately by then. So, yes, this is the second time. But my question is to you, John Mosquito, do you think we should have these people always coming back to office despite them failing? Because if I try to look at someone like Trump, it makes sense him coming back. This man is trying to really, for real, make a change. But we're talking about Africa. We're talking about Africa. We're number one with the biggest producers of so many things, but we're very stuck. Are we going to have the same people who went to these summits over and over again, come back and go to the same summits over and over again, despite now the outgoing presidents going to these summits over, and nothing is changing? And we're going to have a president who's going to question, like, yo, I feel like I'm a man. And as much as you can see him supporting Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, I don't believe till you move. Actions speak louder than words. And that is what we can see with Ibrahim Traore, Mali, and Niger. Unlike these other puppets, all they do is just yap and complete the global agendas. And that's why I said Africa will lack an agenda, because we have shitty leaders. Burkina Faso is moving because right now they have an agenda. Number one, they claimed independency. The rest of us are moving with shitty agendas with no even independency in our own hands. We're fully controlled. But we claim we're the masters of the rest of the African countries. It's sad. But I also see John Mosquito says they choose to go for Mahama rather than Cheddar, who's younger and has been around people such as Brother Polite, 19 Keys, and many other and other conscious minded people. I agree with you, and that's why I said personally, they want these old people, of course, in power because they can't even critically think. They come from, I don't want to go to the poverty anymore. They can't just critically think. Number one, it's all about money for them. Their minds are dumbed down like that they can't reason beyond just what's being given. As much as they know the things they are signing, if they know they don't know, they can't critically think. They don't want the young people to challenge them, because if I go there as a young person, I'm going to reason on beyond of the majority of my young people who look like me, younger like me, people who have the same desire as me. People, someone who's going to understand the pain of the majority of the youth, what they're going through, and make it happen, not just talk about it. So they don't want the young-minded people. They don't want the challenge. They're scared of the challenge. But shout out to you. That is NDO Fire Entertainment. I also see John Mosquito says, John Mosquito says, Joby, we don't need films and movies in Africa. We need factories. That is true. This is why I have a problem with people like Steve Harvey talking about, okay, he spoke about education. He said they're going to create education. Let me read what he said. Education, film development. He said skills development in film, media, education, promoting health and wellness campaigns. Promoting health and wellness campaigns. More organizations to just benefit them, but never the people. So personally, I don't trust none of this entertainment, none of these celebrities anymore coming from America, coming here in the name of investing, unless if they're putting action to it. Shout to someone like Ja Rule. Was it Ja Rule? I was reading. Yeah, it was Ja Rule. Shout to Ja Rule. We saw him. That was 3 weeks ago when I was sharing him building a school, I think in Ghana or Congo. I can't remember. We also seen that is Kai Senant is building a school in Nigeria, that is in Makoko village, where there is the biggest slum. That is something we can see happening. Don't talk about it and you don't do it. Stop giving people false hopes. Stop it. Stop selling hopes to Africans. We don't need it. Do it. If you can't, just keep your dreams to yourself. Keep your ideas to yourself. Go buy a land somewhere where people are gonna listen to you or doing and do. I don't just don't sell hope to the people of Africa. That is all I'm gonna say. But I also see John Mosquito says Akon tried his best, but I think the people at the top threatened to kill him. Well, I'm not really sure about that. You spoke about the film industry too, and I think when we checked into his details last time, there's nothing he did. He came up with that coin of is something to do with that coin, the Econ coin, something like that. I don't know. It's crazy, man. But I also see Jarvis Closer says Mahama is the first speech. Mahama in his first speech said the all American military have to leave and aimed at mending relationships with Burkina Faso and after Nana Akufo-Addo snitched on them to the white people. I agree with you, but again, actions speak louder than words, Jerome Mosquito. Let's not forget that. Actions speak louder than words. They saying, because just remember, we also have the Senegalese president, okay? We also have the Senegalese president who's the current young president, who also said the same. He was to join the Alliance Sahel state. But what happened? During his inauguration, Tinubu was already there and the rest of the people. Like, actions speak louder than words. So I'm not going to believe until I see a movement. NDO says Akon was over his head, then bailed out. I also see says black people are their own worst enemy. I agree, but we can be our best own leaders too. You know, we can be our own best successors, if I'm using the right term. We can actually do it again if we just have an agenda. Because, like I said 3 weeks ago, if you look at the white people, they have an agenda. This is why they've gotten this far with us. But we lack an agenda. Burkina Faso is able to move because so far now they have understood it's always about an agenda. So they set one and they're moving with it. And also see, you're adding, even without the white man, corruption would persist. That's why the slave trade was possible. Some Africans were corrupt. I kind of agree with you, and that is a big problem. Because if I try to look at today, what is going to be make us, or what would become impossible of us? Like you can see, Burkina Faso, if Burkina Faso has been able to do it, if the people understand, and they're not really being easily bought out, I believe the rest of the continent can do it too. That is just me. Because I mean, look at the Burkinabe people and the Malians, right? We've had some people have been tried to be bought out, but they're facing the consequences of it. You can't go against the current military, the current junta, claiming that you want to go back to a civilian ruling. Who are you? Who told you to spread the word? I rule. You don't. So what do you mean? You want to go back to what? I say until I say so. So I get correctly what you say. We have people can easily be bought out, and corruption will persist if not us being well educated to understand we're seeking equality, not favorism, not privileges. It's equality. Because I feel like the Burkinabe people right now have understood that. This is why you can see them backing up the junta, Ibrahim Traore. And the rest of us, we just need to understand, as I suffer from poverty, if you take money from someone to sell me out today, how long is it going to help you? That is the question. How long do you want to maintain the situation like this? Like, how long? We need to start just asking some common questions. Like, you take a million, yes, you go create your own mansion, but your neighborhood is looking very bad. You live in a good house, but the rest of the neighborhood next to you is looking shitty. Are you really happy about that? Are you? So I feel like Africans should just be taught well before we even move into other things. So they should have that collective mindset to understand how we can deal with corruption because it's on a high level. I also see you saying that's John Mosquito says Shada is already a self-made millionaire, so I don't think he was running for president for the money, and that is so good. And I also see you asking if I know the ND. I don't know who's this man. You have bad history with me. I bet I don't know who's this man. It could be one of my enemies. I got many too. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whoever this is, shout out to you. If you're here to spy on me, check if I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. So shout out to you. Yeah, still thriving as you memorize the bad images you have about me. Sorry, can't do nothing about it. Sorry. But as we move on, that is funny. Why would you say that? We have bad history. Or is it Seppo? Is it not Sep? Is it Seppo? Is it called Sep? Not Sep. Is it Seppo? The South African guy. It could be him, John Mosquito. Maybe it's Seppo. Maybe it's Katie. Maybe it's Candy. Maybe it's Spikes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know it is, man. In my career so far, in the years that what I've been doing so far, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to hear someone say they have a bad history with me. I will not be surprised. But anyway, as we move on the next one, the next scandal is the eighth scandal. So let me check on the eight scandals of which came out about him. That is in 2016. We see there was a bus branding scandal. The first one is the bus branding scandal. So they're saying that last year, this is in 2016, okay? Last year, investigations into the branding of 116 metro mass transit buses involving 306 million Ghanaian money revealed that the company contracted Smarties overbilled the government to the tune of 1.9 million Ghanaian currency. And the development provoked public outcry, which compelled the Minister of Transport to resign in December. The government subsequently reached an agreement with Smarties for the company to return a certain amount of money to the government's chest. And then we have the second scandal, which was the Mahama Ford Expedition gift scandal, where a revelation in June 2016 that the president, John Mahama, received a Ford Expedition vehicle estimated to cost 60,000 US dollars from Burkinabe contractor provoked widespread public outrage. And the businessman was said to have won two contracts worth 100 million Ghanaian currency after the president took possession of the vehicle. And the development prompted several opposition political parties and civil society organizations to accuse President Mahama of receiving bribe. He, however, denied any wrongdoing. The third scandal is the Gida scandal, where in 2013, Manasseh Azure Awuni, a reporter from Joy FM, conducted an investigation in the operation of GIDA and uncovered massive corruption, which led to policy change in the ruling of the agency. The government set up a 5-member committee to probe an allegation further. The committee's reports largely corroborated Manasseh's findings and made various recommendations to the government. As part of the reforms, Parliament passed a law to regulate the operations of GIDA, which was later renamed to Youth Employment Agency. Hey, Africa. Africa is crazy. But I feel like, man, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, corruption is just on another level. Just on another level. We have the SADC scandal, where in 2014, Manasseh Azure Awuni, again the investigator, revealed that the Ghanaian Savannah Accelerated Development Authorities had misappropriated millions of dollars allocated to it. The investigation showed SAD paid 32 million Ghanaian currency to the company to plant 5 million trees in the Savannah zone, but could only account for 700,000 trees after 32 million. And it's also found that SADA spent 15 million Ghanaian currency on guinea flows, but could only account for a few of the birds. It's crazy. And then we have the fifth one, which is the NSS scandal, where in 2014, officials of the Bureau National Investigation uncovered 7.9 million Ghanaian currency deep-rooted rot at the National Services Secretaries. The investigation showed that the amount represented the allowance paid to 22,000 non-existent people in more than 100 districts across the country. 20 district directors of NNC were picked up for their alleged roles in the maintenance. And then the sixth one, we have the judicial corruption scandal. The seventh one, we have the Brazil 2014 fiasco. And the eighth one, we have the Brochure gave. Like, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. Then we have his legacy of corruption. So let me read this very quickly. They say that the former president, John Mahama, not long ago marked the beginning for another electioneering season aimed at the presidency of Ghana. But even before Ghanaians indulge him, questions are being posed as the viability of his candidature, looking back at legacy of profound corruption and engagers conflicts of interest he left behind. Repercussions of his repercussions of which continues to echo 6.5 years after he left office. After campaigning on the promise that he would stamp out corruption in public office, Mahama did the opposite, using his power as the president to boost his own profits through the numerous underhand dealings and contract inflation. In actual fact, Mahama provided corporation lobbyists, foreign actors, special interests, and anyone else seeking political clout a way to gain access to his administration. Indeed, he opened the presidency up for the business, and for 4 years, influence was for sale, and he floated all kinds of norms set by previous presidents, starting with his decision not to divest from his business interest while in office, setting the stage for what became the administration marked by placing self-interest and profiteering at the highest levels above the public interest and culminating in humiliating electoral defeat. It was no wonder when the Economic Management Team-sponsored Ministerial Committee report of the Ghana Post and Harbors Authority reviewed documents found Mahama capable of relating to some under dealings on the matter of Tema Port Exports Project. That is another one. Like, the scandal goes on and on. If I read the whole article, in general, we shouldn't have in general, we shouldn't have a re-election of corrupt leaders. Okay? In general, we shouldn't have corrupt leaders being re-elected. This is the time that this man should be checked. The moment he said he's going to vie for the presidential seat, the auditors should have came in. We should have had this man's bank checked. He should be right now even be probably in court as we talk. But they won't let it happen. Africa seems to have a tendency, Africa has been ruled with a norm of having evil, corrupt people to the point where we're so used to it. As much as there's question being raised by Ghanaians, they can't do nothing about it. They didn't even elect that man. Like I said, he knew he's going to become a president by August. So that's why he came to even clear his net worth. This is crazy. So, what is our agenda? It takes me back to the question I asked last week, but one. When will you ever have an agenda as Africans as we come to the end of the show? We need to set one because this is not a good agenda. Having presidents being re-elected, I wouldn't want Uhuru to be re-elected again. I don't think Kenya we've done that. Where we've had a previous president come in again after like years. And I hope we'll never have that. I wouldn't want us to have that. Because we need to move forward. We need to have young people also gaining the opportunity of leading, making a change like Burkina Faso. We need to see changes. That's all we need to see. But we have the NDO who says, still mischievous, and they says they chop the money. Do you know the song, Joby? My testimony. What's that? Are you? Is it you, Zo, or is it you? Yeah, because we did chop your money. If you came to confirm, if you came to confirm, also say the political elite take care of family and close friends. The masses are screwed. I agree with you. And this says politics is nothing but a con game across the board. Globally, it is. We are the ones who are being scammed. So it is up to us to wake up. Again, we have the voice. We are the majority. It's up to us to realize where we stand. We need to understand with the governors of these countries. These people don't govern us. We're the majority. We are the majority. But with the energy shift again, I hope everything is gonna change. Africa is slowly waking up. Africa is slowly gaining its power back, mindset-wise. But we still have lots of mindsets to wake up. A comment you mentioned earlier, we can't deal with corruption because our people themselves have also normalized corruption, and which has become a big problem. So until we deal with that, we have a really long way to go. But we're coming to the end of today's conversation. It's been amazing. I've loved that. I feel like this is a good job. I should also take us very serious. You know, I should become an auditor of, because personally, I love accountability. I think that's one thing I've learned this year too. I didn't know how heavy I was, or yeah, I didn't know how heavy I was on accountability till I feel like this year. I didn't know I really love accountability this much till this year. Because I'm the type of person to check on people. I'm the type of person to I want things to go correctly. I'm the type of person to, you let me know this happened, why? Okay, for us to get here, why did it happen? I like accountability. Most people have come to realize, actually, majority of the people globally don't like accountability. And this is why we have politics being ruled or running the globe the way it is, because there's lack of accountability from the word go. People just do things, evil things, bomb, kill, genocide, fund all this bullshit, and nothing, no one no one is being held accountable. Personally, I love accountability. Like, I love accountability. I'll check on you. I'll check on myself. Even when I go wrong, sometimes, of course, some choices once you make, you can't undo them. But again, something I learned at a young age is that choices always have a consequence, and it's a result to your day-to-day life. The choice you make today, expect the results to be of the choice you made. Okay, so you should hold yourself accountable for that. No one, you shouldn't blame anyone, point fingers at anyone, yourself. So for me, with this auditing and understanding accountability, I need to be hired in all I feel like I should be an African auditor. I should be an African auditor of checking on these presidents, because I feel like I'm so good at it. Let's see, when you got into power, what are you doing before that? Your level of education, your net worth. How did you get here to this net worth? What have you done for the people? You know, accountability. It is really important. I see, Joe, accountability it is my best. I think so, because we don't have a best friend. I'm not the type of girl to say I have a best friend. I know most of the girls say, nah, I don't have a best friend. I'm my own friend, number one. I'm my own friend. Then accountability comes next. Yeah. Cause you gotta take care of you. But much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. See you guys later, of course, on Cash Your Turn and Shmani. We have to figure out, of course, how we're gonna arrange the rest of the shows. Not sure how things are gonna be, but we're gonna see how things are gonna be running with the rest of the program. So have yourselves a beautiful day. See you guys later. Of course, too, on the Culture Show. I'll be winding up with the jam I was listening to. This is Burna Boy and Harmonize featuring Diamond Platinums.
You can make me sit down and sing this song. La 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 la. Come to make me feel like I do you wrong. Jaga jaga.
It depends. Okay, I don't know, man. It depends. What am I being bribed about? Okay, because I'm not gonna say I've not taken like some bribe in some few things, knowing I gotta pass on some things. Like, you know, it's not like I'm not taking some few bribes. It's not like I'm corrupt, but depends what. It depends with what. Let's say that. I wouldn't resist, but it depends with what. Is it someone's lives? No.
Today you go give me love.
Is it paying my rent? Yes.
That's if you walk on my place, now my do.
Getting my hair done, on opening a business or buying land? Oh yeah.
Let's
Let's fly outside somewhere. Let's catch a flight. We go do some amazing activities, business included. Bribe me. Bribe me. How much love, family?
Rudi kwa bibi Kinondon, Ambalulu kujadela, mwanangu gigi simuon, aje ainama, mama ainuka, baby shut down, ainama, shika ukota, onyesha ulivyofunzwa, ainama, go down baby, ainuka, give it to them baby, ainama.
You won't get me there. I know that's how it starts, but not me, man. I'm not really that easy to convince. Trust me. Try me.
Hivi sinura sepetu, amani witaji na gani?